Good evening. Hello, tribe. Oh my goodness, that is so funny. Do you see the speaker in the background right there? I thought that was an emoji on my screen. I was like, what is that emoji? I don't know what that's for. That was really funny. Hello, hi everybody. All right, let me share this really quick. How is everybody doing? It's nice to be back in the land of technology. If you weren't tracking with me, I went out to the mountains in Georgia, and really my intention was to, just have some space to get a lot of work done and be able to do like creative work. And then I went out there, hi Maisie! I went out there and the telephone worked, and I could get on Facebook or on my tech platforms, but I couldn't do any video trainings or any stuff like that, which is basically 90% of what I do in the business for trainings. And so I basically had the week off from trainings, which was really interesting. But anyway, this morning I find myself, or this evening, I'm just I even put on my flannel because it's this is the woods vibes, right? Like I'm still in the cabin out in the woods on the top of the mountain, and you know that feeling like when you get in a relationship and it's just the right pace and it's the perfect pace, both of you are in sync, or like Goldilocks when she finds the perfect pot of porridge in the middle. It's that, just when you're in sync with your team, when you hire the right person and it's they're reading your mind. It's I have those vibes on the inside, just this really this slow burn that's just there, and it feels powerful, but it's not crazy and out of control. Stop it, kitty. That is my cat outside of the door trying to get in here. Okay, so in my chill vibes, which is what it is. Normally I'm pretty fired up, but today I feel quite chill. There's something really powerful I wanted to talk to you guys about. I have so many clients over the last 3 years. Literally hundreds of people have asked me this exact same question. Besides, how did you do it? This is the question they ask. How do I get my clients really powerful results? Because it's not normal people that are doing this kind of work. It's really incredible people who have been through a lot of crap and who really just want to do two things. They want to change the world. They want to help heal lives. They want to help people who went through the crap that they were going through when they didn't have support, and they want to make life easier for people. They want to provide transformation for other people. They long for the feeling of holding space and watching other people transform before their eyes. That is a very common thing in this field. People long for that, right? Let me know if you guys long for that. Hello, how are you? Who's here? Say hello. If you're on the replay, hashtag I'm here. If you're part of my tribe and part of my friends, say hello to me so I know you're here. And if you're brand new, you've never been on one of my trainings, make sure you let me know so I can come say hi to you after and go stalk you and say hello and get to know your name. I really like to know everybody in my tribe. So that's the deal, right? We have this massive group of people who are just really incredibly amazing, deep people who want to provide transformation in the world. Hi, Gina. I'm glad you're here. And they also are really, really done with striving, and they're ready to start thriving. I didn't mean to rhyme, but you're welcome. They're ready to not be worried about money anymore. They're ready to just enjoy life, to travel, to be there with their kids, to be fully present in the stuff going on in their lives, to create some really amazing, powerful memories, and to learn lessons to keep expanding and to keep growing without feeling like it's an I have to, right? To really be in the state of I get to do this, I love doing this, while they're expanding to the next level. So it's a very common thing that I see where people are how do I provide massive transformation for them, and how do I get myself to the place where I'm financially and time, right? They want time freedom and financial freedom completely. So that is what I'm addressing tonight, and I'm addressing it on literally the best angle I can come from. And I got this idea because a few of my clients they're having really huge breakthroughs, and this is what's happening. And I remember when I was going through this myself, but this is for me, the first wave of clients that's come through and had such massive breakthroughs that this is clicking for them. And I was like, oh my God, I remember when this clicked for me, and this is what it is. It's really a sense for them of, oh, this is why so few people make it to the top 1%. Oh, this is why only 6 or 7% of people make it to 6 figures in this field. Like, this is why not everybody's making 30K months, 50K months, right? There's a reason, and it's starting to click to them, and they're starting to see it, and it's starting to make sense, because what's happening is they're leading themselves, they're going first, they're doing the work, they're investing, they're showing up, they're committed, they're going through the waves of wanting to quit and wondering if they made the right decision and wanting to come up with excuses for why it shouldn't have to be uncomfortable for them, and they're not allowing those to work. They're staying, they're literally locking in, and they're just staying the course, and they're just having faith and taking one more step and one more step. And as they're doing that, they're going through those hard waves where they're really expanding to the next level version of themselves. They're starting to understand that that's where all the power comes from. That's where the confidence to know that you can lead other people comes from. That's where the passion comes from. That's where that fire comes from. That's where like the, I will not quit. I will not quit today. I will not quit ever. And that's where that like that depth and that passion and the ideas and the creativity and the, it's really like, there's a Finn word for it. Sisu is the Finn word, right? Like they got sisu. That's the Finn word. I don't know what you, like chutzpah, I've heard it called, like they got chutzpah, but it's really that deep power on the inside that's intrinsic, right? So then I started to understand, it's why I created the program that I created right now. So what the program that's open right now is for people who are ready to have a high-end offer. And it can be, I mean, it's what high-end is going to be different for everybody. But this is really for people who are at least ready to throw out a 10K offer. Like you're ready to know how to put together, really feel confident and comfortable doing a 10K offer. And the reason that I'm doing this is because of the power that happens behind doing the work like this. You know, there's a school of thought out there where we shouldn't be doing high-end offers, and I literally could not disagree more, right? Like just the other day, I saw a friend of mine post something about, what'd she say? I love her. I have so much respect for her. She said something about why getting paid your worth is bullshit. And I don't know what her reason was, but like I definitely had a thought of like, yeah, because there is no, if you were paid your worth, you'd be paid billions, right? Like there's no such thing. But there is high-end offers, and this is what I want you to understand about this. So whether you're interested in the program or not, I just want you to lock in, and I want you to hear the transformation that's available for you in this, right? If we, the badasses, the powerhouses, the alphas, the committed ones, the ones who show up and do the work, the ones who just keep growing and expanding to that next level, the ones who've been through all the hard stuff and are literally willing to, and wanting to go there and show up for someone else. If us, the powerful ones who really are here to make a difference on the planet, if we are showing up half-assed in our life, what do you think your clients are doing? The people that are coming to you for support and for you to guide them and to be a leader for them and to set the pace and the example for them. If we're having trouble not scrolling out and we're kind of half-assing things and we're being a little bit chaotic, what do you think they're doing? Of course they're doing that. They're doing it even more than you, right? Hi, Anna. So, if you know that you're a very powerful human being and even you're having trouble showing up and creating the best, and I mean the fucking best that you have to create and offer this planet, the very best of you, to bring forward and give the very best of you to this planet. So when you're 95 and you're looking back on your life and you're like, I left it all on the table. I gave it all. I gave everything that I had. I really did. I really showed up. I gave my heart and my soul, my blood, my sweat, my tears. Like I gave it all. I did not hold back. We're not going to that place. And we cannot expect our clients to do that. You know, like there's this silly thing where I will see a coach try to throw out a 10K offer, but they've never invested 10K in an offer themselves. Then you don't know what it feels like. You don't know the thoughts you have, the doubts, the worries. You don't know the breakthrough and that it was worth it on the other end. So when your client says to you, let's say you're on an enrollment call and you have a $10,000 offer and she says, I don't know, I can't afford it. Like I'm struggling with this financially, blah, 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 blah. You're going to be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like I'm just kind of hoping that someone has the money lying around and they'll throw the money out there and it's no big deal. No, you can't hold space for it because you don't know deep in your cells and your soul, like, I know what this feels like. You can't lead someone somewhere you've never gone. It doesn't work like that. And it is what it is. Like we got to just talk about the truth, right? Like that's out of integrity. It's hypocritical at very least, right? It's hypocritical for us to feel like we can call our clients to do something we've never done ourselves, right? But here's the magic behind it. That's like the bad news, I guess, if it could be such a thing. I don't feel like it's bad news, but that could be bad news to some people, like, or it could just feel like defeating a little bit. But it doesn't need to, because here's the thing. When you show up and your offer is something that scares you, it scares the shit out of you. Like, it's going to scare the shit out of you the first time you're stepping into this level of showing up on the planet. You're also going to, just like your clients, when your clients commit to something, they're like, okay, I'm investing in this high level offer right here. All of their awareness and all of their faculties, like you're like locked in laser to them. Like, they're fully paying attention, they're fully invested, they're fully committed. They're like, okay. I mean, I feel and sense the difference when I'm running a group that's like a $500 offer and when I'm running a group that's a $15,000 offer. I sense it's a palpable different energy in the two groups. One's like light and exciting and thank you and this is amazing and oh my God and it's really fun and I love it. But the other one's like, oh, is this gonna work? And you're required to hold a different level of tension and you're required to season into the human being who's able to hold that pressure with ease. Because we're not going to take on something and then stay in tension. We will find a way to release the tension and to stand back up and to like brush ourselves off and be like, I got this. Whether it's learning how to shift into a sense of like, this is easy, this is child's play, I got this. We're rewiring ourselves, we're rewiring our skills, and we're coming out on the other side of it. Only when you do that, you will understand this, what I'm gonna share with you right now. So I'm gonna tell you, but I'm also telling you that there's a part of you who might think it's bullshit if you've not actually walked it out, and you really won't know it until integrated into your being until you've walked it out. But I can still tell you so that you can have an awareness of what it is, and you can decide if it's something you want to opt into or not. Some people are going to align with this, and some people it's just not going to. But I know that there's a group of people right now who are on the precipice of this happening, and it's been kind of in your awareness, and you've been tinkering around with the idea, and you just haven't pulled the trigger yet. This is for you, okay? This is literally for you. I'm speaking to you. I don't believe in coincidences, so if you're here and you're hearing this message, there's a reason for it, okay? Whether it's preparing you for a step that's near to come or this is your next step, okay? Here's the deal. When I create a program and I put it out there and I'm like, oh, holy shit, this is like the first time I did my Diamond Mastermind. That's an indefinite program. There's no end to it. That was scary when I first put that out there, like, holy shit. The first time I put a $45,000 offer out there, the very first time I was like, holy shit, like, who's gonna pay $45,000 for this? You know what I mean? Like, oh, I could picture it coming in payments, but not a $45,000 lump sum, which ended up being what it sold for in like 30 seconds, right? I couldn't believe it. So when you show up and you create an offer that's to that level, you're going to leave behind the behavior of like, I can get away with my messy behavior. This is what I can tell you. When you put an offer out there where you're like, holy shit, I better bring it for this. Like, I better bring it for this. You will. You do. That's no different than when your client says, I'm investing in this. I better fucking show up for this. I better show up and back myself and give everything I've got and leave my blood, sweat, and tears on that floor and on that table and in that room, and I'm not leaving this room until I friggin' make this worth every damn penny of what I invested. Like, I'm doing this no matter what. Anything in my integrity, I'm showing up and I'm getting this done. That is what's behind high-level investment, high-level commitment, whether it's time or money. Same thing. It's the same feeling that I watch come up in people that I've experienced myself when I'm giving away, like, okay, I'm committing to giving this time to my clients, or I'm committed to paying this investment for myself. The first time I started paying $10,000 a month for mentors, I literally, it took me 3 months to calibrate to that level, and it was worth every penny of it. Now it's like a no-brainer for me to be able to invest that amount. But for 3 months, I was like, oh, I don't know if I can handle this. Did I do the right thing? Like, oh my God, this is so much money, right? Because 3 years before I was on friggin' welfare. So my brain was still not used to that level. But there's something so incredibly powerful that happens. Do you want to bring the best of you to the planet? Do you want to grow and expand to the highest level version of yourself the fastest way possible? And do you want to maximize the results that you get on the other side? Whether it's as the student or as the teacher, it's the same exact shit. For the student, we're investing in something that scares the shit out of us, that feels out of our league, that feels like, this is the feeling. I finally put it into words. It feels like this. I can't stay this person and make that investment work. In order for that investment to work, I would have to literally expand to the next level version of myself and maybe 2 levels version of myself. And you know it, and there's a part of you who wants to expand to that next level so bad that you are willing to invest in yourself in a commitment that you can't back out of so that you're required to grow to the next level version of you. Is it comfortable to do that? Hell no. No, it's not comfortable. And I've had people ask that. Hi, Marlene. I've had people ask that. Like, yeah, but I want it to feel good. Well, it does feel good. It's like when you're out for a run and you feel like you're going to throw up, that doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel comfortable that you feel like you're going to throw up. But when you're done that run and you just hit another 30 seconds off of your pace, that feels damn good. When you're lifting weights and you're putting up that last set, that 12th one, and you're on the third set and you're putting it up and your whole body's like, and you don't know if you can put it up, and then you put it up. That's not comfortable, but that feels damn good. It feels good. It feels damn good to put yourself in a position where you're required to show up to that next level, and maybe it's not graceful, and maybe it's not pretty, and it certainly doesn't feel comfy, but you go to that next level. Now, what most people don't understand is when you're creating a high-level offer for your clients that you've literally done yourself. I invested this amount, and I know what that feels like. I've walked that out myself, which most of my clients have done. Most of my clients have all, obviously, because they've opted into offers of mine and they've invested in themselves. They know what it feels like and takes to do that, right? But if we're going to create high-end offers, it means we need to know what it feels like to walk ourselves and be committed to that level and calibrate to that next level. But what you may not realize is when you create that and hold that space and container for your clients, you are going to expand just as much as them because you're expanding as someone holding that level for other people. There's such a different feeling when people are highly invested in showing up. So this is what I did. In this program, I'm going to teach you guys how to create the program in a way where you can calibrate your nervous system so you're not shutting down when you're going to make the offer. It literally, I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it so that we will raise the temperature. So let's say you're used to a $2,000 offer and you want to put a $15,000 offer out there, right? I'm going to help you raise your caliber past that so that when you're done, you will coming back to the number that you now are setting to feels really easy and really comfortable for you, right? It's still like, holy shit, I can't believe I'm doing this, but your nervous system isn't flipping out, right? Then I'm going to help you to create your program. So well, if it's a high-end program, what's different about it? I'm going to teach you. Because it is different. You're holding a different kind of space for a different kind of human being. Most human beings are not going to have the stamina, the faith, the self-confidence to opt into a high-level program. That's just, if you look at the planet, just most people will never do that. It is what it is, right? So it's a different kind of human being, and it's a different way that we hold space for them, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. The other thing that I'm going to teach you is literally how to be sure you get results for your clients, right? And this is it. This is what's behind it. The way that you ensure that you get results for your clients is that you're doing the work yourself, because I'm not responsible for you guys and your results. It's not on me to get your results for you, to make sure you get results. I'm not doing your work for you, right? You guys are badass human beings. I'm certainly not going to do your work for you, right? I know I have clients that'll come to me and be like, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. And I see them and I honor them and I ask them, well, what would feel better? Or what would you want to be doing? And they let me know, and I let them know, like, this is not my work. This is your work. What are you going to do here? Right? And I'll be in it with them. And I'm like, I know what this feels like. And I'm so proud of you staying in it. Like, here it is. Here's that moment right now where you get to shift to that next level version of yourself. And there is no greater battle between the party that wants to stay the same and the party that's looking to grow and expand. It is a battle, and we're going to get through it. And we do it together, and doing it together, we expand rapidly, right? But I'm not doing the work for my clients, and neither are you. And not in a high-end, certainly not in a high-end program. But the way that you're going to get massive results for your clients is by being the human being who does it. So basically, as you're being the person, right? Let's say it's me. I'm being the person. I'm doing it for my audience. I'm being the person for my tribe. They're going to see how I'm doing life. Oh, she just took a week by herself out in the mountains. Like, man, I would love to do that. Or, holy crap, she just had an 80K day. Like, oh, I can't even imagine what that's like. Or, holy crap, like, look at her clients are like raving and freaking out. And like, man, what's going on in her tribe? Like, I want to have that experience, which is amazing because it means you're right on track, right? You're getting closer to the results that you want. That's how it's supposed to feel. Right? And then what you're seeing is like, I want to feel the way she feels when she's doing life. I want that feeling. That's all we're looking for. We're either running away from feelings or running towards feelings. So all we're doing is looking to create a feeling, recreate a feeling that it seems like somebody else is having or that we know somebody else is having. Right? And that's what we're doing for our tribe. So this program isn't just about the tangibles, about, yes, I'm going to teach you how, and even if you're not interested in the program, still hear me, because you're still going to learn what's required in order to be able to do this, right? So yes, we're going to learn what does it look like to hold space for a high level program, for high investment, high people are highly engaged, showing up, really committed, high commitment program with with a high ticket number on it. And what does that feel like to hold that space? How do I design that? What needs to be included in that? And then how do I be? How am I going to be to ensure that my clients will get the maximum results? And that is the most important part that I'll be calling you to. And what's so incredible about this is people are going to have an opportunity. I'm just going to say this super bluntly, because you guys know how I roll. This is just how I do things, right? What's amazing about this is people are going to have an opportunity to make an investment themselves, walk that out as they're designing theirs, and will be having people walk that out behind them. You're going to be doing the work first, walking it out, feeling and experiencing it while you're creating yours, and then offering and running yours. And you're going to have that underneath your belt. Time doesn't need to pass. It's not a thing where time needs to pass. I mean, how long did it take you to feel the feelings when someone says I love you to you for the first time? And it's like an instant thing that happens in your body. It's an instant transformation that happens when we walk it out. It's not like you have to do this for 6 months and then you're ready. It's you walk it out once and you're ready. That's it, end of story. I know, because I've done it. And I know because I've had tons and tons of clients do it. And so what happens on the other side of this is you are called to a new level. You will show up as a new level. You will bring the highest level version of what you have to give to the planet, and the people are showing up at the best of them. So now we have 2 people showing up on the planet, 2 people or multiple people if it's a group, right? So if it's a group of people, we have multiple people who are all showing up at the highest capacity that they can. I'm showing up to the highest of my ability, the best of my capability, the best of my fortitude and my grit and my stamina and my commitment and my heart and my soul. And I'm literally showing up to the best that I can. And then I'm calling myself to more. I'm going to give you the best I got. And then I'm calling myself to more, because you have never taken, and I imagine this, it's very rare. And I imagine that I'm right and I'm correct to say that you have never experienced what it's like to give your absolute best. Childbirth? Maybe. If something happened to one of your children? Probably. If there was like some kind of emergency situation? Probably, unless you're like me and you shut down in emergencies. Very embarrassing, but it's true. Right? There's like very few circumstances where you really truly are all out giving everything that you got. And when those situations happen, what happens? Hi, Mary. What happens in those circumstances and situations? You're like, I had no idea I had that in me. I didn't have any clue that I actually had that much in me to give. I was ready to quit here. And all of a sudden I went here, 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 here. And all of a sudden, like, holy crap, I had no idea that. Why do you think people go to work out in groups? You work out by yourself and you're like, I'm exhausted, I can't. But all of a sudden, when there's a bunch of people around you still going, there's a part of your brain that's like, oh, maybe I can. And you just keep going and keep going. It's the same thing with this, with what we're talking about. It's like when we go to do offers and we're holding space for people and we're bringing our soul and our voice and our message to the planet, and we're doing our purpose work on the planet, and we're calling people to a certain level, we stop where our brain tells us we should stop. Like, this is the best I can do. This is scary enough. This is hard enough. And we don't actually push ourselves to the level that we're capable of, which is why basically we're doing group exercises. Which is why I run programs like this, because in a program like this, you're going to be called and required to come to a whole new level. And it's so exciting, especially exciting to do with other people who are doing the same work as you, and get how hard it is, or challenging and exciting, and how big the wins are and how epic it is. And this is what I mean about actually providing the maximum amount of transformation that you can provide for your clients, which is why I realized the other day, I've always known that I do high ticket items because I just like that depth and that energy in those programs. But what I realized the other day was it's actually out of integrity for me to not do them. I can do any other things that I want to, but I actually realized, that's my daughter. I actually realized that it's out of integrity for me. Hey, Bailey, I can hear you, honey.
Oh, sorry, Mom.
That's okay. I actually realized it's out of integrity for me to not be running high-end programs, because the growth and expansion and what it feels like to hold energy and space to that level is what expands me. It's like what my soul starves for. It's like the boot camp in me, the Marine girl in me, that's why I was a roofer. It's like the feeling of, this is it specifically the skill that you'll walk away with is in your business and in your offers and with your clients and leading other people as a leader and as a student. Actually, you'll also learn to be a whole nother level of a student. All of them combined, you're going to learn what it feels like to go to the edge of what you thought was possible and what you thought could happen. And you're going to scale past that so far that by the end of the program, it's one of those things that you look back and you're like, could you imagine if I hadn't done that? Like, could you imagine if I hadn't actually made this commitment and followed through and walked this out and got this result on the other side? There's been so many times that, like the $45,000 offer, the very first $45,000 offer that I put out there, I was like, I really did. I was so giving myself every excuse on the planet why I shouldn't have to do it. And then I was like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? I'll put the offer out there and nobody buys it. Like, that's not that bad. That's not a big deal. And I was being called to do it, right? It was like something I felt called to do. It felt out of integrity to not do it. I did it. 30 seconds later, someone purchased it and paid in full. And I was like, could you imagine if I hadn't followed through with that? Like, now imagine when I'm talking about time doesn't have to pass. Can you imagine all of the change that happened inside of me when I was obedient to something that felt so ridiculous and I did it? And not only I did it, but I really designed something that I knew was worth every penny of that 45K. As a matter of fact, I felt inside like it was a deal. Like, they were so lucky. Like, this was a huge deal. And I put it out there, sold in 30 seconds, paid in full. Literally like 5 minutes later, the money was in my bank. Can you imagine the change that happened on the inside here? Right? It was instant change. However, all of the things that I had to work through and do and walk out and learn in order to get to the place where I believed in doing something like that, where I could feel myself being called to do something like that. Does that make sense to you guys? So that's why I say this is for people who have been feeling like, this is when you know you're ready for something like this. You have an idea that you're capable of creating more powerful stuff, or whether it's like more organized, or you're bringing the best of what you have kind of compiled into one thing, and you really just have a sense of knowing you're kind of half-assing it and you're capable of more, but like even when you're half-assing it, you're kind of crushed. Like, if you're the kind of person, you kind of crush life when you half-ass stuff. But in this field, it's like frustrating to half-ass it because you know that the more I show up, the more people are getting healed. And then we kind of beat ourselves up a little bit because we're not showing up to that level. This is for you. If you're, let's be really honest, the greatest thing about it is that your clients get massive transformation. So if you're the kind of person that really gets a high and really just feels lit up and excited because your clients are having massive breakthrough, this is definitely for you. If you're longing to have maybe less one-on-one clients, so that what we're gonna do is we'll still run the groups, so we'll funnel most of the people into the groups, but then a large chunk of your one-on-one clients it's gonna dwindle, right? So let's say you have 10 one-on-one clients right now. We're gonna drop that to 5, and we're gonna throw out some high-end offers. So it's more selective who we're taking, but the reason that's amazing is because you have now double the amount of attention that you can, like, when you're tracking 5 clients, there's so much more attention is going to tracking these 5 clients than it is to tracking 10 clients. It's just complete different level. They get double the level of your awareness and your attention and input, right? So I never have very many one-on-one clients. I only have a small, because I'm tracking every single thing that they do, and I'm staying with them. We audio back and forth on Messenger every single day. They're reaching out and checking in with me, and I'm helping them through all the things that they do. So it's really about understanding and knowing that you're going to get the income that you need from your high-end offers, and the rest of the stuff you do is because you want to do it, not because you have to do it. It's like that cycle of I have to keep getting clients because I'm not making enough money, and I have to keep chasing that client. It's going to keep you in that perpetual state of not overflow, not thriving. Then you're not spending as much time with your kids as you want to, or maybe you're not working out like you want to, or you're not just chilling, reading, or staring at the stars, or going float in the ocean, or going for the walk that you want to go to, or maybe you're not spending the time cooking that you would need to fuel yourself. Like, these are all the things that we need to raise your income, lower the amount of time output that you're doing, do the other things that are fun for you, that light you up because you want to do them, and have the time and space for you to do the things so you feel good. Because when you feel good, we're the kind of people that always go to the next level. When you feel good, you're going to call yourself to go to that next level. Now that you've called yourself to go to that next level, guess where you can take your clients, right? And then you call yourself to the next level, and the next level, and the next level, and we just continue scaling. And as we continue scaling, we get to lead the way for our clients to do the same thing. That's the thing I watched my clients starting to figure out. They were like, I get it now. I see, as on the back end in my life, while I keep scaling myself and investing and showing up and doing the work, I naturally have a power now to lead these people. They're drawn to me. I realize how much wisdom I have from the experiences that I'm going through. And it starts to make sense to them. They're like, oh my God, I'm starting to get it. And to me, what I understand kind of naturally, because I sort of did this from the beginning, is holding a space for high-end work, high commitment, high value work is where it's like a shortcut. It is. It's really like a shortcut. It is what it is, right? Like you can either walk half a mile a day and then the next week start running, the other half. And then the next week you can run 3/4 of a mile, and then the next week you can run 1 mile, and then you can go to 1.25 miles, or you can just start running the best you can, 3 miles every day, and you're gonna get to running 3 miles a whole lot sooner. Like when you wanna develop that skill, you can literally just show up and stumble your way through the skill and get to that skill a lot faster than you can just like dabbling and putting a toe in and just keep going 1 little inch, 1 little square, 1 little inch, 1 little square. Does that make sense? This is it. I mean, this is how we get to the place where you will shift and you will actually give the best of what you have to give to this planet, to your clients, and to yourself, to your heart, to your soul, to your connection with God, to your kids, to your friendships, to your romantic life. Like it's where we're going to start transitioning our life into being really intentional, into doing things with excellence. Like everything we do, we're gonna do the best of our ability, and that is what we call ourselves to. And you're not gonna do that by dabbling and doing things that feel like, oh, like I hope this works and I need this to work and this feels good and this feels right, but not actually calling yourself to a place where you're shitting your pants. Like it needs to be something you're like, I have no choice but to make this work. When a client says that to me, I know that they intend it to be like, I'm scared, this is hard, but they say it to me and I get a grin on my face. The second they say it, like, I have no choice but to make this work, I'm like, then you shall, and so you shall. Right? Like that is a good place to be. I know it doesn't feel like it, and our body's like, no, it's not. That's not safe. That's not smart. We need to be more careful. No, you need to be savvy, not careful. Careful didn't get anyone anywhere. Savvy, smart, intelligent, intuitive, strong, really trusting your soul and taking those guided instincts, that will always get you somewhere. That's not being safe. There's such a big difference. Same thing with spending money. We're not careful with spending our money. We're not being safe about it. We're doing what expands us, what takes us to the next level, so that money we spent means nothing. It's no big deal. When I put that first 10K on a credit card, that was like, oh my God, I can't, how am I ever gonna pay this off? I make $400 a week. Now I chuckle, like 10K on a credit card, I'll pay that off any day you want to, all of the time. I can make 10K today if I want to, right? Anytime I want to, I could make 10K and pay that off. That's nice. I'm really glad it worked out like that. And of course it did, because I trusted the process. Does this make sense to you guys? I've literally actually never tried to break this down. So here's what I would like to know. How do you feel about creating a high-end, high-ticket offer for your audience? How does that feel to you? Have you been considering it? Who are the people that have been on the brink of that and been wanting to? Never in my life have I had a client who had, let's say, a $20,000 offer, and for 6 months they had a $20,000 offer that they backed, and they learned how to teach, and they felt really good about the thing on the back end, and it just never sold. That has never happened. Do you know what does happen? This is the only thing that happens. I don't know, I feel like that's too much money and it'll never sell, and I can't even get a $2,000 package to sell, so how am I gonna get a $10,000 package to sell? Oh, $20,000 package. That's the only thing I ever hear. I'm telling you that if you, and this is what else my clients say, I'm so good at coaching. I love coaching. If I could just, get people in the door and da-da-da-da. Yeah. I know. You're incredible at holding that space for people. I know you have the ability, but you just haven't actually considered that calling yourself to that next level, walking through that next level, and then holding space for other people to walk through that themselves, because now you have that confidence. Now there's nothing that's stopping you and holding you back. Is the way to get to that version of yourself. It's the way to get to the version of yourself where you're like, I have no choice but to make this work, Mandy. God, that's so great. I would love it if you could just throw it out of your savings account and, pay for a high-end program and have it be no big deal, and then still show up to a committed level. But if, unfortunately for you, this is my experience. I'm not saying it's fact. I'm saying this is what I've watched, what I've seen, and what I've experienced myself. What I've experienced myself is like, let's say when I got to the place, I think I was making 30K. 30, 35, 40, it was something like that. It was right around that arena. When I started making 30K months, I was like, oh great. Now paying this $2,000 a month is no big deal. Like it doesn't feel like pressure anymore. So all of a sudden I pay $2,000, I'm doing the coaching, and I'm like, wow, it's been 2 months and I haven't done anything with it. And I was like, oh, I've outgrown that level. What's the level that's gonna call me to the next level? And I was like, I don't want to. I enjoyed the break, I'm not gonna lie, it was nice. It was nice to just kind of fuck off and not show up and just like be like, and like kind of screw. And I'm not saying I regret it. I don't regret it. I know I made the right decision at that time. And then I also came to the place where I realized I've outgrown this level and it's time for me to put myself into an arena where I'm being stretched again, where I'm being called to more again, where I have no choice but to show up and make it happen again. And even then, I'll push it really far. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm being super vulnerable. Even again, I'll push it really far again. Even when I put myself in this level, I'm like, okay. And I watch maybe like 2 months goes by and like the numbers aren't growing, but the output is growing. And I keep outputting and outputting, but I haven't brought the numbers in. Even then, I'll still fuck off most of the time and I'll still be like, oh, it's no big deal. And in the back of my head where I don't acknowledge, I'm like, well, I could go another 2 or 3 months, or I could get another business credit. I could always get a loan. And you do that, you play this stupid game, and sometimes you'll push it right to the end, and then like, wow, you come to life. Honestly, I don't even care. That does happen to me sometimes. Sometimes I do that, but I really don't care. It doesn't matter to me because I always end up coming around. And when I do, you crush it so big that it doesn't matter. So you don't even have to do it perfectly. You just have to do it. And when I grow at this level, I'll just go to the next level. When I outgrow at that level, I'll just go to the next level. And that's how I'm going to do life forever, period. Because happiness comes from growing. When you grow and expand as a human being, you are happy. You feel fulfilled. When you are bringing your purpose to the planet, when you are growing as a human being and allowing other people to walk that path behind you and leading space for them to do that with love and with grace, and maybe not grace, with love anyways, right? It doesn't have to be graceful. And you're holding that space for them with love. It's amazing. It's incredible. It's an incredible journey, and you are happy. Happiness comes from expanding as a human being and getting to the next level as a human being. That's really where happiness comes from. Like, read the studies. That's where it comes from. We like to grow. Why do you think you're always setting a goal? And why do you think when you get to that goal, you barely ever celebrate? You get to a goal and you're like, next goal, next level. Like before, you're like, the second you know you're going to reach it, your brain's already, where's the next place? What's the next level? You're already going to that next level version of yourself. So, who is this for? Is this for you? If this is for you, reach out. I would love to hear what comes up, what scares you about creating a high-end program. Do you know what price range you would like to do? Do you know, have you been aware of any excuses that you've been using that maybe have been working to stop you from creating a high-end program for your audience? And do you understand? Because I don't know that I explained it so that everybody could understand, and I want to make sure everybody that wants to understand does. That is my intention tonight. I just want everyone to understand what's available. Whether it's something you want to do now or later, that's completely up to you, but I want you to know it's available for you. Every human being has the opportunity to do something like this. And what's available for you is for you to put yourself in a position where you're required to show up to a new level and you don't have the space anymore to fuck off and to half-ass and to do good enough, that's not allowed anymore. And that you actually learn to calibrate yourself to a place where showing up in an arena where you're required to show up and give the best of you is something that you get used to doing. And it's just a normal part of your life and your living, is to consistently be in a place where you're required to show up and give a better level version of yourself. You have to do a little bit better today than you did yesterday, or else you're really screwed. That's a really incredible, powerful place to be, because not a single one of you has ever been in a place where you're like, oh, if I don't do this, like that's it, it's all over, I'm completely screwed, and then you just didn't do it. You were like, yeah, you still half-assed it and blew it up. That's never happened. You might take it right up to that line like I do. You might take it right up to before that line. But you will always, always show up. And you are not going to make a commitment to people and not back that. And you are not going to allow yourself to just fall off the side of the planet. Like, it's never happened. Here you are. It's never happened up until now. You're not dead. You're not homeless. It's never happened. You've always showed up and made it happen. And this isn't going to be any different. So that's what the call is for people. And just so you know, it's just always available for you. Anytime you're ready, that's available for you. What does the next level version look like for you? You're never going to feel ready for it. It's not going to feel any easier tomorrow than it does today. It's now. It's right now. And it's doing it with a sense of urgency, because what's the point in waiting any longer? When you're 95, you're not going to be okay with the fact that you waited and procrastinated and were looking for proof that it was all going to work, and waiting for all of those kind of things that people use, right? It's like having a kid. There's never a good time. There's never a good time to have a baby. You have a baby now because you want a baby. If you're looking to create high-end stuff, to call in high-level clients and go through that journey yourself and expand yourself to that next level and pull in that kind of income so that you don't have to be chasing clients all the time and you can show up with excellence in your life, now is the time to do that. Does that make sense to you guys? Like right now. That's it. End of story. So if this resonates with you, make sure you PM me. If you have any questions about creating high-end programs, if you have some stuff that comes up and blocks you or stops you from breaking through, there's zero pressure to ever join anything, ever. I want you guys to know that my full heart and intention is for you to feel like, my intention is for you to have any fog removed so that you can see really clearly and you can feel empowered to make a decision that feels good for you, whatever that is. Whatever that looks like. Doesn't matter to me. I have zero interest in controlling the decision you make. I have full investment in you having clarity on how, if this is available, how it's available, like how I would be able to do it, and any questions that you have that stop you from feeling like it's available for you. Does that make sense? So if there's anything like that that comes up for you, just let me know. I love you guys very, very much. I don't know what time it is, but I'm heading over to templates. I see some of my template faces up there. I love you guys so much. Make sure you let me know if you have any questions at all, anything. Don't hesitate to, and look, everybody's been telling me, I was afraid to get on the phone with you. I was so terrified. I'm a huge love bug. Yes. When the bullshit falls out your mouth, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna chuck it and I'm gonna do it really obvious and oblivious. I mean, obvious with you, right? And we're gonna laugh about it. But you don't have to be afraid. You can reach out to about anything. If anybody is the person to reach out to for questions, it's me. Do you want to know why? Because I haven't hesitated in my entire journey to ask any question I have, I ask. I don't care how bizarre it is. I don't care how weird I look. I don't care how rude it might sound or seem. I ask every single question that I have to ask to make sure I have clarity for what's available for me moving forward, which is why that's always my intention with my people. Do you have clarity on what's available for you? Do you have any questions? Is there anything stopping you? Do you need help working through something, or do you feel good? That's it, right? I'm a master at helping people navigate through their excuses, their patterns, their fears, and get clarity on the other side. It's up to you to know what's in alignment for you, but I'm a master at helping you get clear on that. So please don't ever hesitate on any of my programs, on anything coming up. If you've been, wondering about one-on-one spots, or joining the Diamond Mastermind, or, joining the, one of the programs I have, or the membership that I have, if there's anything you want to know, if there's anything that you're looking for feedback on, or you're hesitating on something, please be the person that asks the questions, because I'm telling you that the person who asks the questions is going to get the biggest breakthroughs. There's two things that will consistently get you massive breakthrough. One, celebrate all of your wins. What you focus on expands. Two, ask every freaking question that you possibly have that comes into your brain, and get yourself into an arena where you can keep asking those questions. Right? So if anything comes up for you to ask questions on this, please be the person that asks. And when the fear comes up, because apparently I'm intimidating, I don't like that word, but I just own it. I love myself for who I am. If you feel intimidated or scared by reaching out to me or asking me questions, I'm telling you, you don't have to be afraid. I'm gonna love all of your questions. And please, when you ask me your questions, don't say, this is a stupid question, but, because hear my words, I literally believe there is no such thing as a stupid question. Obvious questions have to be asked because they're not always obvious. They'll be obvious later, but they're not obvious right now. That's why you ask. Right? Be the person that asks questions. That is all I have to say. I love you guys very much. Have a fantastic night. And my templates people, I don't know why I keep saying temple. I will see you in a few minutes. Okay, love you guys.